My Gavanen, and welcome back to the Anduin. This is episode number 5, the last in the initial order, and then he'll get Dol Amroth again next week. We're doing relatively well as the Anduin, I think, apart from the annoying loss of Goblin Town. Somebody did ask in the comments, have I still got the units in this fort just here? And no, I don't. So they can't get involved, otherwise they would have helped defend the city. But we'll shortly get it back with Captain Hathol. He's got more than enough to do that. And in the north, Lord Bayon, the conqueror of Goblin Town, is going to shut down this gentleman, Shagoof, to make sure that he can't get reinforcements to Goblin Town. I think we've got Gundabad against the ropes, to be honest, and I can't imagine they're going to be too much more of a threat with us, the elves, and the dwarves all teaming up against them. It's a wonderful little trifecta of death for Gundabad. In the forest, however, of course, we've got to deal with the fact that Dol Guldur has all of this land around the side, and we've got to find a way to cut their tails off in the middle. Which isn't an analogy, but you're welcome to use it, and stop them moving north. Somebody did suggest, and it's possibly quite a good idea actually, to finally break Thranduil's bizarre desire to not treat with us. Well, he is treating with us, but he's just not agreeing with us. We could take Erunrunen and sell it back to him for an alliance, and that would finally make him break. So let us hope that's a possibility. We took Ostingal in the last episode with Gleowine. Yes, Gleowine's such a happy, cheery fellow. He looks so happy to be alive, and we're hoping to keep him that way. But now we are going to attack Shagoof and shut down Gundabad's attempts to cross into the Vale proper with our small little army, with our elite store sheriffs. Shagoof is coming along. 3 Snow Orc Raiders, Orc Hunters, Snow Orc Spears, and Mountain Orc Hunters. And away we go. Now, as many of you may have noticed, I am actively trying to shorten the introduction to the videos. I don't know why, at the outset, I decided on such a lengthy introduction. But I watch a lot of YouTubers, I'm sure many of you do as well. And I have yet to come across another YouTuber who has such a long introduction as I do. And surely it is only an annoyance rather than anything else. So I am going to endeavour to shorten it to simply my Gavanen and kicking off the videos from that. Callie the cat has just come into the room, so if you pick up meows, I apologise. We have a shed load of archers. I keep forgetting how archer heavy Anduin actually is. And that's not a bad thing. I love archers. They are my go-to command, to be honest. I'm not fantastic with them, but I prefer them over cavalry. Cavalry's too intensive. Micromanagement. What do the enemy have? They've got a lot of shields, haven't they? So the archers aren't going to be... So we want really we don't have enough troops to hold the line. In fact, we don't have an army that will be able to hold any kind of line. Now, we did attack them, which is our only advantage. So let's line our archers up properly. Don't fire at will just yet. We'll wait for now. The store sheriffs are hidden in the front, but we're going to have to move anyway, so it doesn't really matter. You guys come across the back there. Start, and they can't reach. But the enemy is coming for us. Right, okay. Cavalry, run out there. Generals, get yourselves out. Oh, they were coming and then they turned around when we started shooting at them, is that? Right, we're going to move forward in slow increments. Something I definitely am doing that's letting me down as a military commander is not judging the distance right between our enemy's line and our line, and so I'm moving my troops just too far forward, and they're getting sort of cut off. That's not really the right word, but the enemy is moving before they're in position, and then I don't get the full use of my army, which is very annoying. Thank you very much to all of those of you who wish me the birthday wishes. I can't say, as I've gotten older, that birthdays are really a thing to celebrate anymore, if I'm being honest. I know that sounds really depressing. But when you move out of childhood and you're not getting any cool little toys to play with, and all it really means is you're getting further and further away from your childhood, it really is a somber day rather than a day of celebration. But still, Jessica and I have had a nice time. My birthday was at the start of the week. So we had a nice weekend before it, and then the birthday as well. So it was nice, but it's just sad as you get older, you know. Everything becomes so turning into an adult. Anyway, enough of this boring nonsense. Let us continue our plans. Someone just started shooting, but they stopped straight away. Oh, the foresters. You can't run away from it forever. Stand and fight, you stupid morons. Oh, it looks like they may be... Alright, let's send forth all legions. Let's send the foresters forward till they can actually reach. And try and lure the enemy into fighting. Try and force their hand. Are you still firing? No, they're just out of range now. The back line is in range, but the front line isn't. Oh, you've moved forward to compensate. That's right. Right, they're running down the hill. So, run the archers back. The hobbits are going to die if melee is joined. They really are not prepared for that. Everyone is ready. Our archers are all ready to fire. Javelin line can move in. I could have made the change to add officers to the skin changer regiments, and I haven't done that, and I'm regretting that now because these guys are so open to attack. The only thing I could think is, as bizarre as it is to turn the lines in. Javelins, if you can. Rain down upon them. Javelins are still actually relatively useful in Med 2, but there's such specific circumstance that they actually work well. And outside of those very rigid moments, they are useless. But the javelins can really thin an enemy before they arrive at your line. And remember, a javelin unit is not supposed to be a counterpart to an archer, or they're not in the same category as an archer. They're just designed to thin the ranks before you then charge them in melee. Almost all javelin units are actually melee units. They just happen to have javelins before they get there. And so it's not the end of the world when they're not taking down an entire battalion on their own, for example. Right, what we want to do is definitely charge the cav into support there. You guys have held. Snow Orc Raiders. We're going to offer up you as a sacrifice. Oh no, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not. The hobbits are the sacrifice. Now they don't really have a general. Oh no, they do, don't they? They've got Shagoof, of course.
Only half the enemy force remains.
Sorry, Shagoof. I'm just cutting your input on this battle totally out. Right, we can't allow Bjorn to die. So we definitely need to get support over there. Oh come on, archers. I hate archers. I hate archers so much. I'm not too bothered if he dies. I don't know his name, but if he dies, so be it. But we don't want the archers to die. Right, run over there. You have smashed those snow orcs. That's fantastic. Now, if all of you please target the mountain guard. You're not going to work wonders, but you'll do something. They're moving in. You can pull back out. Furious charge. You're not running. Run. Turn into position. Target those spears. The mountain guard are going down. The hobbits really are proving to be the outstanding unit in this campaign. Oh, and look. Bjorn has absolutely melted the mountain orc hunters. He lost 10 men and he killed an entire battalion. Although the cavalry, you can't understate the cavalry. If we just have a quick look at the cavalry to show you all, their melee attack is 8 and their charge is 7. That is fantastic for an early tier cavalry unit. Those are really good cavalry stats. Their defense is only 9, which does let them down substantially. So it does mean that they probably lose a few more than you would normally expect with a unit that has that kind of attack and charge stat. But really, a charge stat of 7 is amazing. And that will definitely be the overhauled charge stat coming into play, giving all cavalry just a bit more punch as a charging unit. Their 8 attack stat, though, is entirely on them. That's just their own attack stat, and it's really good. Right, stores. You seem to be dying from our own arrow fire, I assume. Oh, no, look, there are Snow Orc Raiders on the end who are dealing with you. Right, so the stores look like they're probably going to die. Let's try and run them back to at least save their battalion. The mountain guard are down to the last few people. We've got a lot of arrows left. So don't run in there, you'll only die. They've won on the east as well. It's over.
Pursue and run them down.
I really would like the general to die. And the easiest way to do that is going to be to chase him down. So that's what we'll do. Capture him. Yes, there we are. We can end it there.
This is
Fantastic victory. Absolutely smashed it. 116 and almost all of those were the store sheriffs, which is a unit that we can offer up to die. As much as I love the store sheriffs, and I think they're a really useful unit, and I didn't check how many kills they just got, actually, annoyingly. They are still, let's be honest, your fodder unit. They're there to die, and if they get some kills with the stones, then brilliant. Obviously, don't tell them that. And I'm disappointed to acknowledge that they're there to die because they're little hobbits. We should be protecting them. You can have Shaguf back if you pay me for him. Oh, you are not worthy, Shaguf. Your brothers and sisters do not feel you are worth saving. Right, with Shaguf gone, Beorn's going to move over and try and get Marauder Chief Hazolg before he makes his way down the river. But for the meantime, we're ending the turn. What was I going to say? I was going to say something. I was going to say... No, it's completely gone out of my mind. I'm sure I was going to say something Divide and Conquer related, but I've forgotten entirely. Completely forgotten. Oh, you'll be very pleased to know that since my ranting and moaning in yesterday or Wednesday's video about Battlefield 4, I've actually now come on leaps and bounds, and now I'm getting at least 1 kill per death, and most of the time I get at least 2 kills per death, whereas before I was getting no kills per 4 deaths. So, I mean, it's really an improvement. I'm chuffed. Oh, they have brought reinforcements.
By your command. Marching to war.
You don't need that many rams. I'm sure it doesn't have towers. It's got a crappy little garrison. Nagzag's got some archers. Have we got any cavalry? No. We're trying to train the cavalry, but we don't make much money. Where's...
I'm gonna stick
Oh, Hazog went off. And they sent Azthac down in his stead. What are you going to do, Azthac? You're not going to do anything.
Yes, my lord.
Captain Thrak. I'd really like to just stand on that bridge, but it's not really going to help because they're going to be funneling troops down here. They want to get to Gundabad. But they don't border Gundabad, but they're not bothering with Yulstone, which is interesting. Why aren't they bothered about this little village? It makes 335 gold coins. It's almost all of our money at the moment is coming from just that village alone.
Your orders, my lord.
Right, here in the south, ideally what I do want to do is move the army north and go for Erinrunen. But we're very close to Dol Guldur, and it would seem wise to try and press our advantage. But then Dol Guldur gets like 7 garrison units or something stupid, and let's not forget that Kumul is probably in there as well, and he will be able to beat this army. But if we move north, then they'll just take Ostingal back. But then that's not a problem because... No, we're going to move up to Erinrunen. We're basically just going to abandon Ostingal. I'm not even going to bother leaving troops here. We're just going to completely leave.
Yes, my lord.
Well, they build the towers for when we come back. Get those up and running. Ah, look, there's Brown Boat. Mirkwood Goblins, Mirkwood Hunters. Oh, well, I think Gleowine can knock over and deal with that. And you go up and hit Erinrunen. And Spy stay outside, because if you go in, you'll probably die. And that's about it. So they'll probably attack us here, Captain Hathol. I think he'll be able to win that, though. We've just got to shut down their archers' abilities.
Yes, my lord.
And they're sending a lot of troops through, aren't they? Like piecemeal, sending them through one at a time. But annoyingly, Hazolg has vanished into the mist. Where he wanders, none can say. I can send some archers up the river to you, but you've already got a shed load of archers. It's not really archers that you need, is it? It's normal ground troops. Dwinberg, what are you training? 2 woodman units. You've got some Valesmen. You haven't got anything. Leothel, you don't even get free upkeep. Dear, oh dear. We need to at least get a muster ground so that we can get that unit out and about. How much are you costing me? 200 gold coins that unit is costing. We don't actually have a town hall, though. So we wouldn't get free upkeep in any event. But we can try for that in Leothel. We'll pop those down for when the money comes in. And I mean, I'm tempted to attack Azthac just to kill him off, to be honest. Might as well, mightn't we? And if we auto-resolve it, he'll escape, so we'll fight it properly.
We attack.
Apologies for that, you're going to have to watch as we just rain arrow fire down on the enemy. I must confess I am actually thoroughly enjoying playing Battlefield 4. So much more than I was when I was playing Battlefield 1. Was 1... Yeah, 5's the one that no one likes, and 1 was the World War I one, wasn't it? I played number 1 a fair bit, actually, and I got relatively good. But generally speaking, I played as a medic and spent most of my time just making sure everyone else was revived until I felt like I could actually kill stuff. But in 4, I'm enjoying playing as a sniper. Although, annoyingly, and I apologise, I'm going to rant about this while we're playing, certain servers, as I'm learning, obviously Battlefield 4 is very old, and there's only ever about 2,000-ish people playing it at any one time. So you are restricted on the servers that you can access, and there are a set number of servers that are live, generally speaking, all of the time. And I was playing on one yesterday that restricted it to only 4 snipers per team, despite it being a 64-player map. So out of 64 people, it only let you have 8 snipers. That's so annoying. And it just insta-kills you if you kill anyone with a sniper when there are already 4 snipers. So you have to remember to not use that server again. Very frustrating. In terms of Divide and Conquer modding news, though, or just Divide and Conquer news in general, not much really is going on behind the scenes. We're gearing up to make Enedwaith ready. Enedwaith are the next nation to be dealt with, although Hummingbird is tinkering with Dunland at the moment as well. But Enedwaith is the next one that will get sort of a major overhaul. And they'll be the ones that I can talk about next. But I don't think there's enough yet for a developer diary, so I haven't gone about doing one of those yet. Now the foresters are shooting at them, but it's not bringing them in. But what we should do is split our army out a bit so that if they run at one section, we can maneuver the others away. Like this, for example, where they're running quite clearly onto that side. And then what we definitely need to do is bring up the generals. Should have brought them up already. Because when the arrow fire stops, someone has to actually finish them, and Bjorn will be able to do that.
Only half the enemy force remains.
They get so... if there's a critical mass when you have a certain number of archers, the enemy just gets stun-locked with arrow fire and they just can't proceed. And so even though our arrows don't do much damage, although they do relative, we've already covered that, haven't we? Veil archers do 3 damage, which is actually really good. But even though 3 is still not 6 or 7, is it? So they're still not doing loads of damage, but there's just so many arrows the enemy just cannot escape. And so Azthac, who is probably actually going to run away, I've just suddenly thought, so get the cavalry ready as well. Because I expect he'll break before the end. He's going to lose all of his guard. Who is still shooting at him? They are. And they are. But that's it now. Alright, so you stop. Oh yeah, look, you can get some javelins in, so just run away. And we'll send in the cav to try and see if we can kill him with javelins. Yes! Down he goes! The fabled 0 kills. You did nothing. And the top kills went to Greenwood Foresters. But that's not surprising because Celeborn had way longer than everyone else to shoot. Guy de Lusignan, who of course he is playing in that particular thumbnail image. I don't know the actor's actual name, I'm afraid, but the gentleman that plays Celeborn also plays Guy de Lusignan in Kingdom of Heaven, and that is the film from which that portrait is taken.
Conceding the truce. We have triumphed.
Right, do we go east or do we go west? Or do we just sort of hang around Framsburg waiting inevitably for the defeat? Oh, what we can do is take the Valesmen out wherever we go, because in a turn they're going to get replaced. So at least we'll have one more defensive unit. I'm tempted to go east because I don't want Hazolg going down here. Ah, Boat, can you go and find him?
Yes, sir. Full sails. A fine day.
Not looking good. He's not on the coast, so I don't know where he's gone.
Full sails.
But their stream, of course, they've got this town here, and they've got 2 towns here. So they're coming in around on the west, and they're coming in around on the east. And we can't shut down either one. We haven't got enough forces for that. We're just trying to keep them busy, really. But I suppose we should go this way, because we need to keep Gundabad. I keep calling it Gundabad. Once we get Goblin Town back, we need to hold it. So, Captain Hura, we need to head off to deal with him where possible. So there we are, and now I think we can end the turn again. I'm sure we'll lose Ostingile, but that's not a problem. Oh, Brawler's Pit doesn't do anything, let's destroy that. And it'll be a long time before we're back again, so let's destroy their building. And then did Leothel start building? No. Terrible shame, terrible shame.
Yes,
I'm sure Gleerwine can take brown boats as long as no reinforcements come, but you'll note that the forest makes you move so slowly. It's very annoying moving through forests, very annoying indeed. But, I've noted from DCI Last Alliance that they implemented Withwinar's forest moving script thing, where certain nations can go into hidden paths within the forest that only they can use, and then they can come out somewhere else. And whilst I think it's a cool idea, I think adding just more and more scripts to DaC is something that I'm desperate to not do. We're trying to create fun and filled out factions without the use of scripts, because inevitably they have an impact on the time it takes to load turns for the end turns to pass. So we try and keep it to a minimum. Fenholm is now an absolute powerhouse of money, despite only being a village. Remember, Fenholm now can upgrade. There is no restriction on the upgrades. The only region in the world that is now restricted, if memory serves, are the 3 Hobbit regions, in an attempt to keep them as sort of thematic, which in other places in the world we've sort of done away with that, and we let you do whatever you want to do. But in the Shire, we kept the restriction. I think, anyway. I could be talking complete nonsense. That may have changed some time ago. Well, you can get an herbalist in Framsberg. An herbalist. They've got 2 diplomats. How have you got 2 diplomats when you've only got... Oh, does actually, no, you do get 2 per capital city, I think, so ignore that.
Yes,
right, on to Brown Boat. Doesn't matter how many crappy goblins they put in there. Oh, we can take it straight away. Alright, we will do that in a second.
Your orders,
Let's move you up. But we'll make sure we've done everything else first. Once we've taken Runen, unless they've got the one out here, which is called... Burr something. Burr... I can't remember. But up there is another town, which Dol Guldur might have. And I think they probably do. Yes, just there. You can see the border. 1, 2, 3. It won't let me see what region it is. But yes, they've got that region out there as well. So once we've got Runen, we need to cut east. But once we've taken Runen, we will sell it to Thranduil for an alliance and for a chunk of money. Because that's obviously what we're mostly interested in.
Ships ready.
But we've got 3 more units available to go up the river, so send them up.
A fine day to sail.
And I could have just... I mean, Hazolg may well be coming down the river. That may just have doomed Beorn's halls to its death and Grimbeorn with it. There's no enemies up here to fight other than Grishluk. But they are moving on Goblin Town. They really want Goblin Town. So much so they don't care about Yulstone. They are desperate for Goblin Town. I don't understand it. But anyway, let us take Gleerwide into Brown Boat and kill the forces that reside within. Now, what we need to do here is charge into the archer unit and wipe them out through sheer force of will and power. And then use the arrows to bring down the others while we make them run around the map.
Our foes appear to be gaining the upper hand in this battle.
What we probably should have done, actually, is let them rise up and attack us, now that I think about it. Because I'm sure we probably don't outrange their archers. Are you their archers? No. Over there. Which one is it? There they are. Now remember, these fellows are only slightly better than Snagger units. If we pause for just a brief moment, you can only check nearer ones. Merkwood Goblins have an attack of 3, a charge of 4, and a defense of 3. So they're about 3 times better than Snagger. So they're not actually as terrible as you first think. They can actually do some damage. So you have got to watch yourself a bit. But generally speaking, they are on the whole essentially Snagger. But we can do our plan in reverse. If they're going to run at me, then we'll just wait and fire arrows at them. I'm happy to shoot you all day long, Mirkwood Goblins. Run up and down the length of them. Although don't fire at those ones in that when they're in that weird formation. Although actually they're probably grouped up enough now. You can get a charge down the middle. So we've got 59 of ours. There's 140 of them. Gleerwine hits in and pulls out, loses none, and they lose them all. Oh, and they're running away. Go, 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 go. Capture at least a few. Because they will come back to life when they get to the town. Although you're probably getting shot now. That'll do. Run away, run away, run away, run away. Yes, we didn't lose a single one. Right. Oh, there's the archers. They're out on the flank. Okay, 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 okay. Nice. Oh, they are still so easy to kill. Oh, it's delightful. Cavalry archers are so OP in this game. Yeah, yes, they're not as accurate when they're running around as if they're standing still, but you cannot underestimate how useful it is to have an archer unit that fires while it runs.
The enemy general lies dead.
Oh, they hid. And it hides all the dead bodies. That's interesting.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Now, I do not want to jinx it, but we've now taken down 2 of them without a single loss. Oh, but the archers are firing. No, we lost one. It was always going to happen, though, wasn't it? Here they are. And in come the cavalry of the Anduin. And the Mirkwood Hunters are wavering and they're broken and
If we continue
basically
like this,
over.
we will smash the enemy.
But unfortunately, as I say, when they get back to the town square, they come back to life. So what you need to do is pull out, lure them away, and then charge back into them again so we get the proper charge. He says they didn't properly charge at all. Alright, you're just going to have to fight normally then, so we're going to take losses. Oh, we've already taken losses anyway. As long as Gleerwine doesn't die. Oh, you might be able to charge into these ones, actually. Go on, go back in. Give them all you have. Here we come. Yes.
The enemy are utterly vanquished.
Glorious victory. 13
This is
brave
a
souls,
great victory,
710.
worthy of only the mightiest of
So, whilst you can't assume that they are as poor as Snagger units, because they are at least 3 times better, because Snagger, of course, have 1 attack, 1 charge, 1 defense, and they have 3-3-3 or 3-4-3. They are still useless. It can't be denied. A defense of only 4 is still really low, and obviously cavalry charging into that unit is just going to obliterate them.
An honourable, glorious
I think they'll just occupy, to be honest. They've got hardly any people. Although, no, that was a really silly idea. You should have killed them all. They're going to hate me. So we'll destroy their buildings. And they'll probably rebel, to be completely frank. But I made a poor decision there. We should have wiped them out to begin with anyway. So we'll let them rebel and they'll go back to Dol Guldur, I expect. What's their... they are 53% Melkor, 37% middlemen. That's a holdover from when the Anduin were still middlemen. So the regions around here have all the odd scattering of middlemen culture when they are no longer. And
Yes, my lord.
Bjorn's going to hit Grishluk. Grishluk is going to stand and fight. But Grishluk, you're not going to win, sir. Gundabad seem to be able to get a lot of forces out of nothing. I mean, we're so close to Gundabad, I'd be tempted to just press on. See if we can. Like, be audacious. We've got 3 more units coming up the river. And they've got a clear path to us now. But then we don't want to lose Frams, but we don't want to overextend. But it's very much the same game plan again today, I'm afraid. So all of those and the archers. I think we got a Valesman unit, didn't we? So we've got at least some melee forces now and the cavalry. Ah, but then we're in a forest, and if the AI thinks that you're... Oh, look at that hill there. That is a dream. Right, let's go. Let's go, army. Let's go. Move them forward. Cavalry run in and start peppering them. Like, their force is just nothing to be afraid of, really. Archers just stop and start shooting at stuff. Preferably that unit there. Oh dear, missing with the clicks. But if I tell them all to shoot, then they won't do it properly. Right, you can side over on those. Bayon's been hit. We'll bring them around and charge into the back. You come up there and support. Oh no, you can just run up and shoot whoever you want. We'll probably take more losses this time. Well, in fact, we definitely will. But that's not a problem. They're shaken, they're shaken. Go on, run away, go on. Break.
If we continue like this,
Right, we'll send the archers in to deal with them. We'll turn you all off a fire at will and say stop. Move you ever so slightly forward.
Only half the enemy force remains.
They're fighting to the death and broken. Cavalry pull out. Let's charge into those, please. Or fire into those. I didn't expect the enemy to be quite so ballsy, if I'm honest. I thought they would run away as usual, but this time they actually charged us.
Behold how our cowardly
But it matters
foe
not,
runs.
for it is over. We lost 6%, which is more than we needed to lose, really, but we got reinforcements coming, and it was spread out amongst many of our forces. So it wasn't all on one enemy, one unit. and company.
This is
64
a clear
men,
victory.
648 dead. 64 men, and the most lost... Oh, Valesmen lost almost all their battalion, basically. The Aetheod lost 20 as well, Aetheod. But they must have healed. Yes, the Valesmen healed a number. But the Valesmen dying is their purpose. Valesmen, unlike Vale archers, who actually are good archers this time in the game, this early tier archer, Valesmen are just rubbish militia trash. They don't serve a purpose beyond holding an enemy down. So I'm not bothered if they die. They're very replaceable. It's the archers, ideally, obviously, we don't want to lose many of, because they are what separate us from Gundabad. I just noticed that Gundabad has hardly any people in it,
Glory,
and if it were to fall, if we were to sack it... Oh, King Gerzog. Oh, you just happen to have exactly the same portrait as Mazog before you. That was trippy. But what I am going to do is end the episode there. So that concludes Anduin's first 5 episodes, where you've had a sort of a week long of it, and then I'll do a couple of Dol Amroth episodes next week. In the Dol Amroth one, of course, it's been ages since we last played, but we've defeated the Ardennai, and we've defeated the Harad, we're allied to Khand, and we are going to go back and save Gondor in glory from Mordor, which is something that many Dol Amroth players obviously have to do, but I expect many of you are like me and just don't bother, because by that point, charging down Mordor is, whilst enjoyable and a real sight to see, it can get a little tedious.
Your orders, my lord.
But anyway, that's Anduin for today, so thank you very much for watching and enjoying along. There'll be another Skyrim episode on Saturday. I'm looking forward to playing that, and then I don't know which lore faction I'll do on Sunday. General lore videos, I have kind of stopped doing them, but I haven't stopped doing them. My plan with general lore videos is basically just to do the odd one every now and then, when I drum up the desire to do so. They'll always be in the same sort of format that they were before, but the lore faction videos will continue until they're all done, and they're just a one-off series. And then general lore videos, just every now and then when I want to do one, I will. But otherwise, obviously, DaC is the main thing. With Skyrim on the side. But anyway, for now, thank you for watching. Nevair and Aden Pedimad Melonin, and farewell.